Hello again, guys, it's Rookvader here, back with another video. As promised, we're gonna be doing American Truck Simulator today. So, let's get her in gear. Okay. Options. Now, I was using the manual shifter. I don't want to have the clicking coming on for you guys, so I'm just going to do real automatic. And job market. Quick job. I just started here, so I haven't got a truck of my own yet. Let's take a day cab today. Do something nice and simple. This one's a Peterbilt. That's a Kenworth. Let's take the Kenworth. Pressure tank. $27.89 a mile. Pays good. Ooh. I just got off a bit of a troublesome load. I'll tell you guys in a little bit here. Okay, let's apply the brakes here. Okay, there's our pressure tank. And okay, it looks like we're gonna take a right turn out of here. Okay. So now I don't have to use the paddle shifters anymore. Hope you guys had a good week. As per usual recently, I've been very busy every day. Let's navigate. Oh, hello. Okay. Yeah, you just heard the sequential shifter there. Trying to babble to you guys as per usual, and instead of focusing on where I should be going. Oh, we're off to a solid start already. Alright, let's try this again. Left turn out of here. Okay. And put it hard over. Just in such a rush to get out of here. And let's do immediate right turn. Oh man, it's a lot easier to drive with an automatic. I can see why every truck driver, well, all the big mega carriers want to have automatics now, because it's so much easier on the driver, especially in the city. Navigate this left turn. I don't even know where we're headed yet. Let's see. We are headed to Sunshine Crops. Okay, that's the client. But it doesn't say the city. I don't even know where we are departing from. Let's actually have a look. Because I was so anxious to get rolling. Okay, we are in Raton. And we are heading south on 25, 84, Highway 40, going to Tucumcari? Something like that? And we are in the state of whatever this state is. I have no idea actually. But it's third state from Los Angeles. Which this would be what, California? Yeah. Alright. Let's keep going. My. So the run that I was just doing before I was gonna do this recording, I literally spent like 45 minutes doing the run when it should have taken 20. And it probably summarizes exactly what a truck driver goes through. I mean, I was... Oh, I want to go straight ahead here. Actually, no, they want us to turn right? Okay, they want us to turn right. So it was supposed to be a short trip. And then it turned into a long trip because there was a detour en route. Construction. So I took the detour, but it led to another construction. So I decided to... Okay, maybe there's the original construction detour finally went away. But no, it didn't. And I was caught in this loop. And I ended up burning a lot of fuel. So I had to stop somewhere. And speaking of fuel, we're running low on fuel. Well, we're not low on fuel, but we're about a quarter. And I don't want the same thing happening again. So, that looks like that's on the east side. Is there anything on the west side? Let's have a look. And let's actually plan our trip. So it's a rest stop. We're gonna have to stop here for fuel. Reset navigation. It is being very weird. Can't I just go like that? I don't get it. This is really weird. You know what? Let's just... do this and see if we're able to stop for fuel. Oh my goodness. This thing is realistic right down to the AI traffic and the problem solving that you have to do. Trying to plan your fuel stops, running into construction detours and all that jazz. And yeah, so definitely feels like I'm driving a real big rig. I haven't driven big rigs before, but I've driven like city trucks, Isuzu trucks, Hino trucks. I also did some parts deliveries back when I was working as a parts boy at a truck dealership. So yeah, the whole shebang with dispatch, running you around and running into traffic is very familiar. Just started on American Truck Simulator today. Actually recording this on Thursday evening. And so you guys will actually see it Friday morning, 11 a.m. EST, as promised. I got the Thrustmaster wheel working, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. It doesn't rotate a full 270, 900 degrees. It just goes 90 degrees to the right, 90 to the left, so 180 combined. So it takes a little getting used to in terms of the steering feel, but for starters, I'd say it's pretty good. It's 6:20 p.m. So where are my light controls? This one? Okay, yes, it's this one. Still getting familiar with the controls here. I actually have a drawing I made with my fabulous artistic abilities, as you saw in one of my other videos. I labeled all the buttons that I have programmed, so I'm still learning the button mappings that I set. And yeah, this is, I think, the 4th delivery, so I'm very fresh, and I initially went through the first few deliveries on my own because American Truck Simulator is something that I've wanted to get into for many, many years, and I sort of wanted to... Oh, hello, Mr. Truck. Just sort of explore the thing on my own at first, because it's a very big personal thing for me to get into American Truck Simulator. I've wanted to do it for a very long time, so I wanted to sort of take my time with it, and then once I get familiar with it, then show you guys, which is why we're here now. Do 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 do. Let's actually open up the windows once we negotiate this turn. Listen to that. Oh, yes. Ooh. I was expecting... I was trying to hear for the Jake brake sound, and it wasn't coming on. And my muscle memory is still kicking in, playing around with the shifts. That's why you guys hear the shift clicks. So I have to remind myself that I'm actually driving an automatic truck, not a manual. Okay. Limits 45 through here. Take her nice and easy. You guys have any special plans for the weekend? For me, it's gonna be pretty peaceful. Working on the Thrustmaster unboxing video, and that's gonna come out on Sunday. Then on Tuesday is gonna be the next flight lesson, going over the instruments. And then the Friday following that, I know I have it written in my schedule what I want to do, but it's not coming to mind. I think it's going to be Star Wars Pod Racer that I'm going to be doing. So, we shall see. But yeah, very busy. And I think I've finally gotten the basics of Premiere Pro. The last video I did with the flight lesson, that I did all of that editing myself, and I know I keep going on and on and on about editing, but it's just such a huge learning curve trying to master editing, and especially because I've never tinkered with filmmaking before or recording. So combining the audio, combining the visuals, making sure everything's in sync with the timeline. Big learning curve. Okay, we are seriously getting low on fuel. I swear, the previous driver of this truck intentionally did not fuel up. Like, I can't think of any good reason. Again, I'm shifting on the gear shifter again, even though I don't have to. Watch the rear of the trailer. Okay, I'm not gonna shift this time. Let's do the merge. On the first run I did was with the Mac Anthem, with a sleeper cab. And for those of you new to the channel, not familiar with trucks, sleeper cab would be where there's an actual box on the back of the truck where the driver can actually sleep in. And I drove the Mac Anthem sleeper cab, and we're turning right here. On the second run, I took a set of doubles, meaning two trailers. I was hauling 2 trailers at once, like a little road train. And as I was merging on a highway, because I was still getting used to the steering wheel, how it's only 90 degrees, I actually sideswiped a pickup truck. Well, it was a simulation, so yeah, it was a gentle tap on his side, but it was enough to, like, if it was a real driver, he would have slowed down and probably honked his life away. But yeah. Now, if I remember correctly, somewhere around here, I should be able... And the brakes are they actually really work. Like, especially if you use the Jake brake, the brakes really work on these trucks. Because they're air brakes. They're a lot more powerful than hydraulic brakes that you would find in a car. So, you know, for me, coming to a stop in these big rigs is no problem. Partially because I keep so much following distance. I stay well behind people, the other vehicles that are ahead of me. But also at the same token, like, I have no problem stepping on the brakes. Okay, so we can actually get off. For some reason, on the map, it wouldn't let me do that. Okay. See? Like that, right there. I actually really hit the brakes, and I didn't have to. Okay, we'll let that last vehicle go. Alright. Always move. Move your head like a swivel. And check those mirrors. They are there for a reason. Oh. And hopefully, this time, I find the right entrance. Okay, green sort of glowing fuel tanks. That's where we gotta go. On the previous delivery, I pulled into the wrong entrance and it took me 10 minutes to go around to the proper pump. And yeah, and that was the same trip where... Turn the engine off. Fill up. That was the same trip where I had that detour and I had to fill up. Took a lot longer than it should have. That's probably like very common trucker words not coming to mind right now. Something that a lot of truck drivers can probably relate to. Your fuel expenses are covered by your employer. Well, thankfully, because that's like several $100 in fuel. Okay. Ooh. I totally misjudged that. Yeah, like I said, still getting used to the 90 degrees. Like what I'll have to do with the wheel, and I should probably record it for you guys, so you guys can actually see. But what I have to do is, because it only goes to 90 degrees, if I want the virtual driver here to actually turn the wheel very quickly, then I have to hold it left 90 degrees and keep holding it there, right? And you see as the wheel's turning, okay, well, it's not really turning much right now. I'll demonstrate again probably later. but I have to hold the wheel 90 degrees to the right. My wheel, 90 degrees to the right, so that this wheel we see here turns 3 times over, so I can actually get the maximum turning radius. If that makes any sense. Alright, let's get on here. I have to say though, driving this automatic is much easier. Much easier. I don't blame city truck drivers wanting automatics. But if you're mountain driving, you would want a manual, because you can control the engine a lot more. Nobody's coming on. This time we can merge smoothly without any trouble. Yeah. I think I've been tinkering with American Truck Sim for my beams on for the last 3-4 hours, and I have been loving it. Like, wow. SCS, I remember I played a very, like, by today's standards, it would be archaic, but 15-20 years ago, it was sophisticated. And that would be Hard Truck, 18 Wheels of Steel. That was my trucking simulator. And the driving physics was very realistic. You could actually feel that the truck is taking forever to accelerate. You could feel the weight of the trailer and that it just can't. The truck takes forever to stop. And that was very realistic. And, you know, the graphics by today's standards is very primitive, but not even today blows a lot of other truck simulator / game driving physics out of the water, even to this day. Anyhow, trip distance 215 miles. I know you can toggle through that center display so it shows you other information. Right now I'm just using the screen on the right. This trip is actually the smoothest trip I've had. Like, no detours. Nothing. Ooh. That's disorienting. How the engine brake can't work. Well, it does work, but it doesn't work quite the same way if you were just shifting the gears manually yourself. Oh my goodness, it's pitch black. Oh my. I've seen some truckers, they will put lights on the outside of their truck so that they can either flash over people to let them know to pass. Okay, let me actually negotiate this turn. Okay. Yeah, just pitch black. Having a set of sidelights would have helped there. But yeah, like let's say you're driving on a tight city street and the driver in the cab can't see you immediately. Like he can see you, but it's not easy for you to see the driver signaling you to go ahead. They'll just have a light attached to the outside of the cab facing rearwards. They'll have a button box inside their cab. They'll flash you. That means, hey, go on, I'll wait for you, and then I'll back the trailer up. That's if it makes more sense for the car to go. But ideally, if the car is far enough back to just accommodate the truck and can just wait, just wait. The trucker knows you're there. Ooh. I have a habit of trying to drive single-handedly, because generally, I know everyone's driving style is a little different. When I drive, I like to hold the wheel at either 7 o'clock with my left hand or 5 o'clock with my right hand. And with this wheel setup, if I want to negotiate a tight turn, I really should be holding the wheel with both hands. Because the way the Thrustmaster VG wheel is set up, much like most other racing wheels out there, is it has a clamp system. And the clamps have these sort of, not exactly suction cups, but they're these circular things that can rotate, like tilt. And if you pull on the wheel in a certain direction, you can actually make it sort of tilt up and down. And if you're negotiating a tight turn, gripping the wheel tightly, then it can cause the wheel to move, and that can mess up your turn a bit. Okay, where do you need it? Let's get some outside action for you guys. So, let's flip our 4-ways on and see where they want us to drop this thing. Okay. Oh yeah. So this is gonna be relatively straightforward. Famous last words. Okay, they have that wagon there, so we're gonna have to kind of nudge her in there. Okay, as long as we take our time, don't rush it, we'll be fine. Now we gotta remember that we're trying to pivot the front of the trailer with the back of the truck. And let's see how long this takes us. Let's start with, okay, hello, reverse. Might help if I reverse. I don't have track IR, which is basically, it's almost like a headset device that you can use to manipulate the eye point. You just move your head around and that'll move the eye point, the camera that is. And I'm just making do with the 4-way thumb pad and the mouse for now until I get the track IR. So it's a little tricky trying to back up without track IR inside the truck. So for now I am backing the trailers up whenever I make a delivery in third person. And a lot of people want third person deliveries anyway, so drop-offs that is, so it's a win for you guys. And eventually when I get in the interior with track IR, then the guys who want to see an interior delivery / drop-off will see that. So let us engage the parking brake. Okay, turn that off and disengage the engine. Okay, and let's drop off the trailer. Excellent. Driven distance 239 miles. Time taken 5 hours 53 minutes in game. Fuel consumed 50.5 gallons. We earned 66.43 buckaroos on this run, 386 XP. 188 proficiency bonus, and trailer maneuvering bonus. Whenever you maneuver the trailer in, especially exactly where they want it, you'll get extra XP. Level 3, newbie. Well guys, that's going to do it for this first episode of American Truck Simulator. More is going to come. I'm going to set up a separate profile and we're going to build a company. And in the future, I'll want to be doing convoys with other people. So make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the backhaul. Safe travels.